watching live today, then it would be great if you could let me know in the comments whether or not you can hear me. And if you're watching on playback or if you're watching later, then thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I am going to update you on a couple of trips that I've got coming up. I mentioned over on all of my social media that I've got 4 trips in total coming up. And the first one starts on Friday of this week. So I'm very excited to bring you on the journey and let you know where we are off to. Oh, amazing. I can hear. Yeah, you can all hear me. Sound quality apparently is good. That is great news, because if you came to my live a couple of months ago now, it must have been, I think it was when I said I was going on Preziosa. I was wearing my old clip microphone that I used to travel with, and oh my goodness, the sound gave me such a headache to try and fix. So I'm delighted that it looks as though we are now up and running. So yes, hello, thank you so much for joining my live tonight. I can see that we've got 42 of us on the live right now, which is brilliant. If you've just found me, then today for the next hour, maybe, we're going to be talking everything cruise. So I've got a few trips to let you know about. If you've got any questions or anything you'd like to throw in, then please pop a comment down in the live chat, which I can see that some of you already have done. So shall we jump through on the side? Who do we have here? We've got Blaine. Blaine, a very good evening to you. Thank you for coming tonight. Maria, you've also made it, and you don't have a question yet, so you can sit back and listen. I'm sure a question will come to mind. So yes, let's see. Mike, hello. Thank you for joining us tonight. Question: we're off on a 3-week Caribbean and transatlantic cruise on Virtuosa next month. You've done some long cruises. Any top tips? First of all, Virtuosa, cracking choice of ship. Virtuosa is one of my... I'm very low down under that comment. Virtuosa is one of my favourite MSC ships. I think she's an absolutely beautiful ship. What I would say for long cruises, especially if you're travelling with MSC, think about things like laundry and think about all the life things that you have to consider. With a 7-night cruise, it doesn't really come into it. Or if you're cruising with a company like P&O Cruises, for example, you can go to the laundrette and just get your washing done free of charge or really cheaply. But sometimes on MSC, really basic things like that can build if you have to send your laundry away every week, for example. I do have a video on YouTube, which is all about all the things I had to think about when I was basically living on cruise ships. So you might find that video useful. Have a look for that. If you can't find it, then just drop me a message or comment on any of my videos and I will come and find it for you. I should have said at the start there, by the way, because I've just jumped straight into comments and straight into questions. What I'll do here is we'll jump through, get some Q&A done, and probably in about 15-20 minutes, I'll fill you guys in on the first, or well, the whole leg coming up. So yes, Mike, thank you very, very much for the question. Anda, thank you for joining tonight. I'm so jealous not being near any port. It means I have a lot of expensive flying to do to get to a port and back. As a Canadian, it also means going to the US. Yeah, I mean, if you're not near a port, then yeah, if you're not near a port, it does make it pretty difficult. I live about 3 hours north of Southampton, which is the big UK cruise port. So it makes jumping on ships quite straightforward. But none of the ships that I'm about to head off on are from Southampton. In fact, one of them is. 3 of the 4 ships I'm about to head off on are actually from totally different ports. So yes, I will fill you in due course. Maria, although I do know which people, sorry, yeah, in Naples, I am going straight to the John Paul, your question is giving away the game a little bit. So John Paul is one of my Patreon supporters, so already knows the announcement that's coming tonight and has maybe just revealed what one of the cruise lines is going to be. So John Paul, I'll come back to your question after I go through ships and trips, if that's all right with you. Stephen, you are here. A very good evening. Welcome to you. John Paul, do you have any more trips planned with Laura? Yes, I do. The first of 4 ships. Laura is coming with me. So yes, she is packing as we speak, I believe. Johnny and Will, you guys have both joined the live tonight as well, so thank you very much. And yeah, hopefully Belfast is seeing the same weather that we are today. It's been absolutely beautiful here in the Midlands. We've had blue sky all day long, so hopefully that's a sign of things to come, and you've had the same. Brenda, about to be driving, so can listen but not participate. Well, you are up so early. Brenda is also one of my Patreon community who lives over in Melbourne, Australia. So it must be about 5:30, 5 o'clock in the morning for you right now. So thank you so much for letting me be your company on your drive today. Phil, any tips as a solo on a 3-night Aurora cruise? Oh, okay. I'm on her first cruise after the refit on Easter Monday. Phil, Aurora is one of my favourite P&O cruise ships. I am constantly saying to everyone about how much I want to go back on her. I would say that Aurora is a ship like no other ship. She's got a very loyal following. And after cruising on her, I can completely understand why. So any tips as a solo? I would say solo 3-night on Aurora. You might not meet that many other solos, but my top tip would probably be just be prepared for that. I tend to find on ships like that with average audiences, like what Aurora would attract, you tend to not really get that many solos on the short cruises, but it's only when you go on for a week or so that you get a lot of solos booking on. But that's not necessarily an issue. It's just one to manage your expectations on. I would also always recommend go to Sindhu, which is the Italian Indian restaurant on board, because Sindhu is wonderful. It's one of my all-time favourite specialty restaurants. So if you like an Indian, then get yourself to Sindhu. Guys, while we are working our way through, I should have mentioned this at the start. I can't believe I've obviously just jumped straight in because I've seen that chat moving at the side of my eye there. I did want to pause and just mention that this week we have hit 27,000 subscribers here on YouTube, which is absolutely amazing. And it completely blows my mind every time I think about it. So whether you've been here for 5 minutes, 5 months, or 2 years, however long you've been here, thank you so much, because I genuinely couldn't do what I do without the support and without views on my videos, for example. So yes, however long you've been here, however many of my videos you've seen or maybe not seen, thank you so much. On that note, did you know that I have got my own website? Now, the reason I'm plugging this is that I am keen to look at my weekly email drops. So every Friday, I send out a quick email with an update on everything that's new on Fraser at Sea. Now, that consists of here on YouTube, but also at FraserAtSea.com, and also anything else that's happening along the road as well. Now, it's super easy to sign up, and it's totally free of charge. All you have to do is head to www.FraserAtSea.com, and then at the top of your screen, you should have the option to click a button that says sign up now. Now, if you go in there, pop your email address in and just tick the box to say that you're happy for me to email you. It won't do much good if you don't tick that box, unfortunately. And then you will then land into my email subscriber list. So it's super easy. And then every Friday, I'll drop you a little email and update you on what's going on. Now, over the next few weeks, that should be really funny because I'm going to be on ships. So yes, I'm intrigued to see what emails I'll be sending out over the next few weeks. If you don't go there now, then you can also find the link to that website in the description of this video. So if you go down to there, and if you're watching on playback, then you should see that. All you have to do is click sign up, and it should take 2 little seconds. So yes, that would be wonderful. Okay, question, which means I am going to Blaine, sorry, I can see that you're chatting to, yeah, I can see, okay. It's quite difficult actually going through a chat on a YouTube live and pulling out what's coming to me and what's coming to other people. So apologies. We have got Tom and Dom. Yes, Tom and Dom, thank you very much for joining tonight. Thank you. I was actually watching, well, I know you know this because you've responded in the comments, but I was actually watching your Ocean View cabin tour. And it was the first time that I've ever seen an Ocean View cabin on Virgin. I don't think there can be too many of them because I haven't even heard of anybody cruising in them before. Okay, who else do we have? We've got Dulce, welcome. Thank you so much. Mike, we know you're here. Dave, you're here. Tamara, you're right. That's amazing. We've actually got over 60 of us on the live right now, which is amazing. This is absolutely brilliant. As I say, if you've got any questions, pop them in the chat and we'll work our way through. Zoe, you are here. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Maya, sound is coming great. All to the Netherlands. Well, that is very good news. Right. Joshua, what cruises are you going on? Joshua, bear with me 5 minutes. I'm ploughing through some Q&A and then we'll move on to talk about ships and trips. I branded it Ships and Trips on a Patreon video and I think it kind of goes. So maybe for the sake of this video, we'll call it Ships and Trips. So I'll move on to that in a couple of minutes' time. Jam Ice, Jamie, you are here. You've made the migration from TikTok over to YouTube. Yeah, things are a little bit different here on YouTube, but lovely to see your name popping up. Joanne, do you fancy cruising? Joanne, first of all, great to see you. Do you fancy cruising to South America or the Antarctic? If yes, would you want to do scenic or where you visit via the Zodiacs? Very good question. An expedition cruise is actually on my 40 before 40 bucket list. Now, I've mentioned over on Patreon a few times this week about my 40 before 40 list, which is essentially a list of 40 things that I've put together that I want to do before I turn 40. Now, don't say anything. That's still some while away, thankfully. And what that means is that I can build some quite big ticket items in there. Now, one of them is to do an expedition cruise. I would love, love, love to do one. I would love to go on an icebreaker. I'd love to go and see the penguins. To be honest, at the moment, I haven't done a huge amount of research, so I don't know what angle I'd like to approach it from, but Antarctica, yes, I would absolutely love to do. So, yes, 100%. Ansu75, hello and greetings from Finland. I'm excited, only 4 days until my first real cruise, the Med on Costa Toscana. Well, I have got plenty of content from Costa Toscana to keep you busy. It blows my mind that people join these live streams and people are on my channel from all over the world. So yes, hello to Finland. Thank you very, very much for being here tonight. Tamara, I'm off to Southampton 14th of April for a tour around Southampton Port. I didn't even know they did that. Did not know they did that, but that'll be really cool. Max, I love Toscana this summer, although it was very busy. Yes. I mean, Toscana can be such a busy ship. My friend Laura and I were on there last year, and we found the buffet area on Costa Toscana to be a nightmare at times, to the point where you'd almost be holding your dinner above your head to avoid it back. It was so busy. Yeah, but that said, if you get the ship quiet, I bet it'll be absolutely glorious this time of year. Johnny and Will, question: what was your favourite bar venue on Preziosa when you did your cruise on her? Ours was the Green Sax, as one of the musicians looked like our neighbour, and his singing Spanish was great. Okay, right, fun fact that I can tell you about time on board Preziosa. I was on mid-January. I think I boarded on the 17th of January or something. And I was actually doing dry January. So I can have a favourite bar, but I didn't drink at it, so I can't comment on quality of drinks. I really liked the bar on Preziosa that's at the top of the stairs that goes down into the casino. I really liked that during the day because it was really quiet. And I also really liked that in the evening as the ship would leave the port before the casino would open. My criticism of Preciosa is that I found the casino to be really, really smoky, and all that smoke would come upstairs into that bar. So I think, yeah, Green Sacks was good. If you went to karaoke in that bar, then yes, karaoke was a lot of fun on my Preciosa cruise. Although, no, I did not get on the stage at any point. I'm definitely, I'm a people watcher when it comes to everything karaoke. I love it, but would I heck get on that stage? Not a chance. Dave, lovely to see your name and your face on here tonight. Question, heading to Alaska from Seattle in June on Encore. I was speaking to someone yesterday who's going from Seattle on Bliss, I believe. Juneau, Skagway, Ketchikan, amongst others. Anything I should make sure I include? Dave, drop me a message because I have got... do you know what? I was going to write your name down there, but I'll forget anyway. Drop me a message because I've got loads of advice on these ports. I went to Alaska on Discovery Princess, and I went to Juneau, Skagway, and Ketchikan. So yeah, I've got loads. Fun fact about Juneau, Alaska. Did you know that that is the capital of Alaska? Main city of Alaska? Well, it is a fun fact anyway. The only way for you to access Juneau is by air or by sea. There are no roads that go into Juneau. That blew my mind coming from the UK. Juneau is awesome. There's a really cool cable car that goes up the mountain. Ketchikan, I've got... What did I do in Ketchikan? I can't remember. I'll have to look back. Skagway is gorgeous. Skagway is so nice. There's a really cool train in Skagway, and there's also some really good food that you can get in Skagway that's quite famous. So yes, drop me a message, Dave, and I will fill you in fully. Where are we? Patricia, hello. Congratulations on your YouTube milestone. Thank you very, very much. If you're just tuning in tonight, Patricia is referencing our 27,000 YouTube subscribers. If you are watching the live tonight and you're not subscribed, then it would be wonderful if you would click the wee button, as we say. As we say in Scotland, click the wee button and that will mean you will subscribe. Right, shall we jump into ships and trips? Yeah, maybe let's do 2 ships. Ready? Here we go. I wish I could do a drum roll right now. Okay, anyway, this Friday, as you know, we are now well and truly in cruise week for me. And on Sunday of this week, I am going to be boarding my next cruise. And I'm very, very excited. That means that on Friday, I will be flying on this baby here. That is the British Airways A380 from Heathrow over to Miami. So I have had the A380 on my bucket list for as long as I can remember. As long as this plane has existed, I think it's been on my bucket list. This is one that is on my 40 before 40, actually. So I'm getting to tick one of these things off by going on a cruise. I thought I'd have to go with Emirates to Dubai or go that way to get on a 380. So to get one operating the Heathrow-Miami route is so good. So Friday afternoon, I will be boarding my A380 out of Heathrow. Don't worry, I'll be turning right to sit at the back of economy. But when I get to Miami, I'll then be spending 2 nights in the city before heading up to Fort Lauderdale to board my first ship. My first ship is going to be New Amsterdam, which is one of the ships from Holland America Line, which goes back to why JP, I think it was you, was asking about Holland America in the chat. So I can actually see in the corner of my eye right now, someone's just mentioning about adverts coming up. They might come up throughout the live, so you might have to just skip through them, or when you come back on, you can just backtrack and catch up to where we are. Anyway, 7 days, Western Caribbean on New Amsterdam. The ports that I'll be calling at, first of all, Half Moon Cay, or Half Moon Key, which is the Holland America Line private island. We'll then go down to Montego Bay, Jamaica, Grand Cayman in the Cayman Islands, and then over to Cozumel, Mexico, before enjoying a day at sea to come back up to Fort Lauderdale. I am so excited about this one for a number of reasons. Now, first, Laura's coming on this one with me. So if you've joined this channel in the last year, you might not have come across Laura before, but Laura's my best friend, and every year we do an annual cruise together. So we've cruised on Celebrity Silhouette, Queen Anne, Costa Toscana, and Discovery Princess. I think that's all 4. And this is now going to be our annual cruise number 5, which is great. So we have such a good time on the ship together. So she's never been to the Caribbean before. It'll be really interesting to see what she thinks of the Caribbean. And also for me to get back on a Holland America Line ship, because I took Rotterdam for a 3-week trip last year and absolutely adored it. I loved everything about Rotterdam. So I think New Amsterdam is going to be a contender for one of my favourite ships yet. Now, the other reason I'm excited about this is that we're actually going to some ports that I don't love. So I don't love Jamaica. I also don't love Cozumel. And in fact, I took a bit of a battering on YouTube a few months ago when I released my Cozumel video, because I said it was a tourist trap and I didn't really like it. So I'm really excited to go back, because there's so many comments in that video that say, oh, no wonder you didn't like it. You stayed by the cruise port. Go to that place, that place, that place. So we're working on a bit of an itinerary at the moment to build up what should be a good Cozumel day. So we'll show you what that looks like, and we'll show you some of, hopefully, the best things to do in Cozumel. Jamaica, I think we're going to do a cruise line excursion, because I'm not overly sold on Jamaica, to be honest. So yes, let's see. I can actually see Joshua in the corner has also recommended to not get off the ship unless we're on an excursion. So yes, I think that's 100% going to be the plan. Now, that's Holland America. There was one other reason I'm excited about this one. So as you know, I usually cruise on the inside of the ship, meaning that I usually don't have a window when I cruise. And I love that, because it means that I spend less money on ships and then I can go on more cruises. So when I cruise with people, though, it's easier to split the cost of a cabin. What Laura and I have opted to do is upgrade our balcony cabin to a signature suite, which I am going to be out of control in there. So yes, I've never stayed in any form of suite before on a cruise, so I'm really looking forward to trying a signature suite and seeing what that's all about. So yes, stay tuned. I will be on New Amsterdam from Sunday of this week. I'll be on there for 7 nights, and then the following Sunday I will fly back transatlantic to get on my next cruise. Now, the next cruise is going to be very, 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 very different, and that is because I am going back to Norway. Now, I haven't actually got any Norway content on my YouTube channel because of the fact that I last went to Norway. The only one time I've visited Norway by cruise was on board MSC Virtuosa, and it was before I did have a YouTube channel, but it was before I was on camera. I wasn't doing any vlogs. I didn't really show the ports. So yeah, I don't really have anything to show from my Norway trip. So when people ask me about, oh, what would you recommend doing for Norway? What do you do in ports? I don't have anything to show them, which I'm really sad about. However, that's all about to change, because I am going to be boarding Balmoral, which is one of the cruise ships from Fred Olsen Cruises. Now, I am going on this trip as part of a collaboration working with Fred Olsen. So you will see throughout all of my content from this trip, you'll see everything labelled as an ad, just because it's a working relationship that we've got together. Now, I am heading up to the fjords on April 1st on Balmoral out of Southampton. I've got 2 days at sea on either side, and then once I get to Norway, it's going to be a relatively port and fjord intensive itinerary. The route that Balmoral is taking looks absolutely breathtaking. One of the things I'm most excited about for this cruise is that Balmoral is a much smaller ship than what I'm used to. That means that she can get into fjords and parts of the fjord that the big ships just don't have access to, because they couldn't get in, turn, and come back out, for example. So I am really, looking forward to that. Fred Olsen Cruise Line are also a Norwegian-based line. The founding family are Norwegian, and they specialize in these Norwegian itineraries. So you can do quite a few different routes. You can do the fjords, you can do the Arctic Circle. There's a number of different approaches you can take if you want to see Norway with Fred. And I think this 9-nighter is going to be absolutely beautiful. So yes, I'll be hopefully coming live from that ship, hopefully as we go through a fjord at some point, if the internet allows. I believe that all of the Fred ships are now linked up to Starlink, so I'm hoping that I should be able to go live and show you what it looks like live on board a Fred Olsen cruise ship, which is going to be very, very exciting. Now, that is the first 2 ships of my 4 cruises adventure. Let's call it an adventure. My 4 cruises adventure. They could not be any more different, because Miami in the Caribbean is going to be beachy and warm and sunny, and yeah, I'll be baking. Norway, I think, is probably going to be the polar opposite, but that's okay because I know that now, so I can prep for it. So I need to make sure that before I leave to go to Miami on Friday, I've also got a case packed for a cold weather cruise. So all I have to do is come home, drop one suitcase, pick up the other at the door, and then run again. And yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited. Now that I've covered the first 2 cruises, let me just check back in our comments and let's see how we are getting on. Maria, I want to go on Fred Olsen. I did a really short one a gazillion years ago and I don't remember much. I've heard a lot of good things about them. Yes, I also have heard a lot of good things about Fred. I have heard that the food is amazing. I've heard that the ships and the onboard facilities are absolutely gorgeous. So I'm really looking forward to showing what the Fred Olsen product actually looks like, because it's a whole corner of the cruise industry that I currently have absolutely no experience of. So yeah, watch this space and we can explore it together. Carol, thank you for joining us tonight. Hi, Fraser. I'll be going on an MSC cruise for the first time. I'm really looking forward to it. The ship looks beautiful. Oh, great. Well, maybe if it's a cruise that I've also been on, then I might have a ship tour, I might have another few bits that can help you. But the MSC ships are gorgeous. The only downfall I've found with MSC sometimes is that the onboard experience can sometimes fall a little if the ship's busy and if the crew are quite stressed, but the ships themselves are absolutely beautiful. Traveling Light, congratulations on 27k. Thank you so much. And thank you to you for being here. Yeah, thank you. Richard, good evening. Lovely to see you. Phil, I meant to say thanks. I bit the bullet and opted for a Virgin Transatlantic in 2026 after watching yours. Got solo lock-in. Wow, Sea Terrace for £2,000, which seemed a steal. Yes, that's a bargain. So for my transatlantic, I paid, what did I pay? I think I paid about £1,100, but that was for an inside cabin. For you to get 2,000 for a balcony 3 years later, that's amazing, especially with what prices are doing right now. So yeah, that is really, 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 really good. Do you know what? I keep looking at the comments and they keep jumping, which is great because it's great because there's questions coming in. But apologies if you keep looking at your screen and thinking, oh no, he's frozen. Polly, hello, booked for Asia next year. Have you ever been to that side of the world? Sailing Celebrity Millennium, which will be our first celebrity ship. Ah, okay. So I have cruised Celebrity before, but it was on Silhouette again, similar to Norway, I did have a YouTube channel, but I wasn't really filming for YouTube sort of thing. So I do have like a ship tour from that, but nothing else. Now, Celebrity, I am maybe going to be diving into in more detail soon. But I can't tell you any more than that right now. So stay tuned for a future live stream, but I might be able to shed a bit more light on a Celebrity in due course. Now, Celebrity Millennium, I believe she is an older ship. I think she might be similar to the likes of Celebrity Infinity, which I know that Emma's been on. So maybe head over to Emma Cruises and look for her Greek island trip that she did, because I know that she was on an older celebrity ship. So that, if nothing else, it'll show you what the onboard experience will be like. It probably won't be the same ship, but it'll show you the experience. Celebrity, though, I don't really have any tips at the moment because I've only done one short UK cruise. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to pass on that one. Blaine, I see some grey hair coming in. I know. Do not remind me. Mike, agreed regarding the smoke in the casino in Preziosa, the worst we've come across. Yeah, it was weird, wasn't it? Now, I have found smoky casinos a bit of an issue in the past. And actually on Holland America Rotterdam, it felt pretty smoky as well. But you could tell that the vents were doing their thing and they were lifting everything out, which was good. But on Preziosa, maybe it's because it's an older ship, but it definitely felt like it was hanging a little bit. Yeah, didn't really love that. Okay. Maria, I have to add in, did you know there's a joke about the question, do you know, pronounced Juneau, the capital of Alaska? And do you know what? I wish I could dial you into the live stream and you could tell us the joke. Do you know? It must be Juneau. Do you know what? Let's move on. Do you know? Do you know what? Let's move on. Right, quick. Here we go. Right, where are we at? Polly, guessing MSC World America coming up. I'm actually not booked on World America, no, because I spent a long time on World Europa, and World America doesn't look different enough for me to book on. I had a look, and the fares are quite expensive at the moment, so unless the prices come down, I'll probably give World America, I'll probably give it a miss, to be honest. Nina, you are going to be heading to Norway on the Rotterdam in May. Oh, amazing. Okay, so in which case you will be able to see already on my YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see loads from Norway in due course. So yes, stay tuned, and I will be able to send you plenty of information. If you want any tips on Rotterdam, then I've got my full ship tour and a full vlog series already live, so you can dive in. Let me just get to the bottom of the comments that we've got here at the moment, and then I'm going to jump into ship number 3 and tell you about the second leg of the trip that I'm about to embark on. Melissa, I'm going on Carnival Horizon next month. Melissa, have you seen my ship tour? Carnival Horizon was one of my first Carnival ships. I took Carnival Panorama out of Long Beach, California, and then I took Carnival Horizon out of Miami a few weeks later, and I loved those ships. I just thought they were so fun. So you're going to have a ball. I think Horizon's still based in... it's a shame it was next month and not next week, or you might have seen me. Tom and Dom, looking forward to seeing what you think of Balmoral complete. Yes, so am I. So for anyone that doesn't know, I actually, Tom and Dom, you guys were there as well, but I went to the dry dock of Balmoral, which was basically when they take the ship into the dock, drain all the water away, and then they can do all the maintenance around the outside. So they were repainting the ship, they were replacing like loads of the kit underneath. I even got to touch the anchor, which blew my mind at the end of the chain, because we could actually go down and walk about the floor of the dry dock. So I've been underneath Balmoral, but I've not been on Balmoral when she was being floating in water. So it's going to be very strange, actually, to walk onto a cruise ship that when I was last on it, it was an actual official building site. I'm really looking forward to seeing the new venues that they, because they've put a new buffet restaurant and they've renovated some of the cabins. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the new Balmoral looks like. I think she's going to be absolutely beautiful based on the pictures that I've seen online. Mike, Virgin have got dear. They have, haven't they? Did the comedy cruise last year, 550 for 5 days, booked them on 4. Yeah, I think the one you're referring to this year, Mike, is it Jack Whitehall that's on there this year? I also looked at that one. 2 cruises that I looked at this year, which would have ticked like the novelty factor cruise. One of them was that comedy cruise from Virgin. And when I priced it, it was ridiculous, especially because I'd be going on that one solo. So yes, that one was ridiculous. The other one, which I couldn't believe the price of, was the cruise with Jane McDonald. So if anybody has ever met me in the real world or in real life, I've probably lasted about 30 seconds in conversation before Jane McDonald's come up somehow. And I've been to see her a few times. And then she announced this cruise that she's doing where her and her friends, I guess, are providing all of the entertainment. Now, as soon as that came out, I thought, oh my goodness, I need to get on that ship. That would be amazing. Until I searched for the prices. And when I looked at it, they were charging 250% to go solo, which was, it was actually ridiculous. So say if the price was £700 per person, I would expect double fare to be 1,400, but it wasn't. It was like 1,650 or 1,700. It was, yeah, I have no idea what the pricing was doing for that. But cruises at the moment, I am seeing it's becoming more unlikely right now that you'll get a good deal, because the majority of cruise lines out there are now reporting record sales month after month, which is amazing for the industry, and it's so good to see and hear. But for those of us who want a bargain, it's not ideal. Right, let's jump in to ship number 3 and ship number 4. We've got 70 of you on the live right now, so thank you so much for tuning in. While you're here, let me just plug my weekly newsletter again. Now, I have a weekly newsletter that comes out every Friday, and I use that to update you on everything new that's going on, whether it be at FRASER@SEA.com or YouTube or TikTok or whatever other social media platform I'm looking at. Now, that is the best way to keep in touch with everything that's happening. Over the next few weeks, that is going to be such a key way to see what life is like on board all these cruise ships that I'm traveling on, because I think it's going to be really straightforward for me to send a quick email on a Friday with some pictures and maybe a little bit of a post in there. So yeah, if you head over to www.FRASER@SEA.com, and at the top of the screen, click on sign up now. And then all you have to do is pop your email address in, tick the box, and click submit. You can also find the link to sign up down in the description of this video if you're watching on playback. Now that that is done, shall we move on to ship number 3? I'm actually delighted that the audio and the video and everything is holding up on this YouTube live, because my last few made me fall out of love with YouTube lives. And to be honest, I was really nervous before coming on here tonight, which is probably why as soon as the live started, I was like, hello, straight to the questions. So yes, this is going, let's go as far as to say this is going well so far. Technology is great when it works. Now, ships that I'm heading out on. First up, New Amsterdam from Holland America. Second, Balmoral from Fred Olsen. Third, this one is totally different. Once I get back from Balmoral, I'm going to head to the airport and get on a flight that's going to take me over to Barcelona. Now, from Barcelona, I'll be taking 2 ships, one for a short cruise, a very short cruise, and one for a slightly longer cruise, or a much longer cruise. Now, the first of those 2, so ship number 3 for me, is going to be Costa Pacifica. Now, this one is interesting for a number of reasons. First of all, this is a one-night cruise that I'm going on, so I think I need everybody on here to say a prayer for me that this is going to go to plan. Now, I am cruising from Barcelona to Marseille. Then I will be traveling back to Barcelona to get on the next ship. So I'll tell you about that in a second. Now, why did I pick Costa Pacifica? One of the really interesting elements of this cruise ship is that she is actually the sister ship to Costa Concordia, which we don't have to go into the detail of Concordia, but Pacifica, I am so intrigued because I've seen so many old photos from Concordia, and I've seen so many photos from the wreck of Concordia, and things like Costa Concordia, Titanic. I'm absolutely fascinated by also that side of the industry. So it'll be really interesting, but also Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think interesting is the best word. To see the old pictures from Concordia and see what that space looks like on Pacifica. Some sister ships that I've been on from other cruise lines, the design of the ships is the same, and even some of the aesthetics is the same. Really intrigued to see if all these years later there are similarities between the ships or if it has changed as it's gone along. Now, the other thing I'm actually really looking forward to about this is the fact that it is a one-night cruise. I spent, what did I spend? About 5 weeks on Costa ships when I was basically living on board all the ships. And I really liked the product. I found some of the ships to be really busy, but I think there is a real place in the market for Costa. And yeah, I'm looking forward to showing what this product looks like because I think it'll be very different to Diadema, Toscana, and Smeralda. Now, while I was Diadema, the ship did a short 2-night cruise, and I kept thinking, who's booking onto this? Who is booking onto a 2-night cruise, which was basically a ferry? And it was like a party. The atmosphere on there was absolutely fantastic. So, yes, it was great. I'm intrigued to see what a one-nighter is like. But anyway, after I do Barcelona to Marseille, I will then travel by bus. Yes, bus back to Barcelona. So crossing the border from France to Spain by bus, which I have done before, but I've never done it before to then get straight onto another ship. So it's going to be very interesting. The fourth and final ship that I'll be getting on after I spend, I think, one night in Marseille and one night in Barcelona. This one is really exciting. Norwegian Breakaway. I'm going to be spending 9 days on board this cruise ship. Now, Norwegian Breakaway is a ship that I don't think I've ever seen Breakaway on any of the cruises I've taken. I've seen Getaway, I think was the one that I saw in Athens, and I've been on Escape. I've seen Bliss, I've seen Encore, but I don't think I've ever seen Breakaway before. But this class of ship, I already know I'm going to love it because this is so similar to Norwegian Escape, which was my first ever cruise ship. Now, what makes this one interesting is that she's just gone through a huge renovation in Europe and is now doing a European season before heading back to the US. Now, some of the things that have been put on to Norwegian Breakaway are a really premium looking cinema venue. There's also some form of park that's been put on. I'm really intrigued because on some of the reviews I was looking at, people were saying, Breakaway is starting to look tired. But that was obviously before the dry dock. And some of these dry docks are remarkable. So going back to Fred Olsen, I couldn't believe the scale of the upgrade that was taking place on Balmoral. And I think she probably will feel like a pretty new ship compared to what she would have done before. So Breakaway is going to be really fun in that respect. So I'm going to get some content for you to show you what it's like to cruise on a ship pretty soon after a refit, and also show you what the refit has actually done. I'm so intrigued. Now, the other thing that's good about this cruise is that it's going to some ports that I've never ever been to before. It's going to some that I have done. So I can't wait to get pizza in Naples, for example. I also can't wait to have a fake sea day when we're in Civitavecchia, because that's where everybody goes to Rome, and I can't be bothered with that because it's such a long way. I'm just going to stay on board and enjoy the ship. Now, our other ports, we go to Livorno, which is where we'll spend the night. So the ship will dock overnight, and we will then be able to travel to Florence and Pisa. Yeah. And when I'm looking at the screen behind me, this port map is very small, so I'm doing well to see that. But Florence and Pisa is where you can get to from Livorno, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm also really excited about Ibiza and Palma, because I've been to Ibiza before, but it was very much off season. And I think by the time I get to the end of April on Breakaway, I'm hopeful that stuff should be starting to open up again. So there might be a bit more life there this time. And Palma is meant to be a fantastic city. So yeah, really looking forward to that one. And as you know, I just absolutely adore Norwegian cruise. Norwegian are a cruise product that fits me really well because I enjoy a formal night, but I also really enjoy just going for dinner in something that makes me feel comfortable. So if that's a t-shirt and a pair of jeans, then on Norwegian, that's totally fine. If I want to wear a shirt and if I want to dress up, I can, but their freestyle dining concept is that I can go to the dining room whenever I'm hungry and whenever I want to eat, and I can also wear whatever I want within reason, obviously, but largely speaking, I can wear whatever I want. So that is the four cruises, which I am really excited about. The other thing that I should mention actually about Breakaway is that I'm actually staying in a solo ocean view cabin on that one. So I've been in a studio cabin on Norwegian, and so many people have asked me, does the solo product and does the solo experience differ if you don't book a room in that studio section? Now, I don't know the answer to that, and it's a question that I've never known the answer to that. So when this cabin became available on this ship on that itinerary, I sort of jumped to get on it because I would love to be able to answer the question for you, because as you know, I'm a huge advocate of Norwegian. I would hate for someone to book outside of the studio rooms and then get the same experience. It says on my booking that in a solo ocean view cabin, I still have access to the studio lounge, which is something that I heard I might not have access to. So I've already screenshotted that so that I can take that on the ship to say, hey, can you activate my card? So yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting. I'm so looking forward to that. So yes, that is my 4 ships. And that concludes our ships and trips element of today's live. So shall we get back to some Q&A? Let me know in the comments what you think, actually, because the thing that I'm excited about is that I think all 4 of those ships are really different to each other. I think the products that each of those cruise lines will provide will be entirely different. I'm expecting Holland America and Fred Olsen to maybe be similar, but I don't know, because I've only ever tried a brand new Holland ship and I've never tried Fred. So it's going to be an exciting month. So, traveling question, which Norwegian port are you looking forward to the most? Also, we hope you don't run out of annual leave. Yes, so Norwegian port that I'm most excited about, to be honest, I think it's the fjords that I'm most excited about. If I put that back on the screen, hopefully you can see up in the top corner, the ports will be stunning, and the ports, when I've Googled them, they all look absolutely beautiful. But what I'm most excited about is the drama of cruising through the fjords, because some of those fjords look so dramatic. And yeah, I've been through Geranger Fjord before on MSC Virtuosa, and I just couldn't believe it. I absolutely couldn't believe it, because you're on this massive cruise ship and it's like you could just touch the cliff face at the side. It's unbelievable. So yeah, I think it's the fjords that I'm most excited about on Balmoral. But I think the ports will also be absolutely stunning. I've been to Stavanger before, and I know I really enjoyed that port. But the others at the moment are all quite unknown, which I think is really healthy, especially when you're jumping cruise region to cruise region. So I will do a bit of research, but at the moment, it's the fjords for me. I cannot wait. Mark, evening. Good to see you, Celebrity Apex in 38 days. What a treat of a ship that is going to be. Thank you so much for joining. You've also made the migration over from TikTok. Jamie is also here further up the chat, so thank you very much for coming over. Melissa, you also visited my hometown of Halifax, Nova Scotia. I've seen your videos about the Horizon. Okay, great. So, Halifax, Nova Scotia, if you've seen my video from there, you will remember the absolute battering that I took, because when I went to Halifax on Norwegian Escape, the heavens opened when I was getting ready to leave the ship. And it was like, the weather was very like Scotland, where you could get 4 seasons in one day, where 1 minute it was raining, then it was the heaviest hail that I've ever seen, then it was sort of cloudy, and then it was broad daylight and sunshine. It was it was the weirdest thing. But Halifax I'd love to go back to, because we had quite a late call there. We only arrived in the afternoon due to weather. So yeah, I'd like to go back at some point. So who knows, Melissa? I might actually end up seeing you there. Margaret, thank you for tuning in. Doing a Norwegian on QM2 in July, so I'll be watching your Norway section. Wonderful. Well, hopefully I can help you look forward to that. QM2 will be absolutely stunning for that type of itinerary. She's a ship that when you see her in the fjords, I reckon it'll make you feel really patriotic. I did the transatlantic on QM2 and I really enjoyed that, but I would now like to see what it's like to cruise on board QM2. So many people I spoke to said that the transatlantic crossing isn't really a cruise, it's more of a crossing in the traditional sense, whereas a cruise is more you start and finish at the same place and you go for a holiday, basically, rather than transport across an ocean. So I'd like to try QM2. So I would love it if you drop me a message and let me know how you get on with that. Max, your next cruise is MSC Splendida. So MSC Splendida is one of the sister ships to Preziosa, I believe. So if you haven't already, Max, head over to my MSC Cruises playlist and check out my Preziosa content, because a lot of that will then apply to you on Splendida. Rachel, I'm going to Zeebrugge and Rotterdam in September. They are two of my favourite Northern European ports, by the way, on QM2. Oh, there's so many QM2 cruisers tonight. Looking forward to seeing your videos of your cruises. Yes, so Zeebrugge, I will be featuring Zeebrugge in my P&O Arvia series, which is going to be hitting your screens probably in about 3 weeks' time. Maybe, hopefully, all going well. And Rotterdam will also be coming, but Rotterdam will be coming on my Queen Anne series, which will be slightly later than Arvia, I think. Actually, the other way around. Queen Anne will come first, and then Arvia will come second. But yeah, they're wonderful, wonderful ports. Phil, solo fees are getting ridiculous. Ugh, yeah, it's so annoying, isn't it? I think that it's generally quite a good rule of thumb right now to try and book quite far in advance. I am seeing good solo prices for 2026 and 2027, but personally, I can't book that far out. I can't do it from A, an organisation point of view, and B, from I just can't do it point of view. I'd just be too excited for the cruises. I think I'd drive myself insane. Joanne. Okay, Joanne. Celebrity are my favourite cruise line. Beautiful ships and service. Nice and relaxed, and the food is epic. Silhouette was my first cruise, so holds a special place in my heart. Okay. So hopefully, I can't remember who was asking. I'm scanning up really quickly, but we were speaking about celebrity earlier up in the chat. It was Polly. Polly, if you're still here, hopefully Joanne's comment there has reassured you with celebrity, but yeah, I'm sure you'll have absolutely zero issues. Zoe, saw Breakaway sail out of Southampton. Yes, so did I. So I actually just happened to load my YouTube app on my phone as Solent Ships was doing the sail out of Breakaway, and she looks beautiful, doesn't she? Yeah, so I'm excited to get on board. Richard, you did a one-nighter on MSC Seaview, Palma to Barcelona. Didn't feel like a party cruise as just one night within other people's week-long cruise. Okay, yeah, hopefully it feels the same for me, to be honest. I did find out that I board the ship, my embarkation slot is 5 p.m. and then I'm going to have to leave the ship at like 9 o'clock the following morning. So I'm not thrilled about that, if I'm being totally honest, but it is what it is. I guess I do want to see what a one-night cruise is like, because at the end of the day, they're selling them all through the year. So yeah, it's just going to be fun for me to try and film a one-night cruise and a ship tour within about a 14-hour window. So I've booked an inside cabin because I'm not entirely sure I'm going to sleep, to be honest with you. Okay, we've got about 5 minutes left on the live. So if anyone's got any final questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. The chat tonight has been absolutely brilliant. When I started this, I wasn't sure if we would go the whole hour, but we have, and we've still got more to go. So thank you so much. Ruth, hi. Hello, Ruth. Lovely to see you. Are you ever going to go on Iona? Okay, so I've been on Arvia, which is a sister ship to Iona, and the content from my Arvia time will be coming onto YouTube soon. So I've not been on Iona. I tried to in February, but the solo prices were double fare, and if a ship is offering £500 per person, I just won't spend £1,000 to go on a solo, more out of principle than anything. So I haven't been on Iona yet. I'd love to, because she's the only ship in the P&O Cruises fleet that I'm yet to tick off, but not until she has a better solo supplement. But yeah, if you look at my Arvia content, Arvia and Iona are so similar that you should hopefully get a good feel for the ship through that. Maria, you'll have to remind me which days you're in my ports. I don't remember what the video said. Maria, let me know. Maria, let me know actually what your ports are, and let's see if we can tie up. Johnny and Will, looking forward to seeing your breakaway videos as we've got this ship booked for next year. Great. Okay, so yes, hopefully I can help you plan what to do and what to not do when you go on breakaway. Johnny and Will, we'll need to watch catch up now as we missed cruise announcement number 3 and we were on the phone paying our deposit for another cruise. Don't worry, before I finish, I'll do a quick 1, 2, 3, 4 wrap up. But if you'd like to go back and watch on catch up, I certainly won't tell you not to. But don't worry, I'll do a quick wrap up of 1, 2, 3, 4 because I can see at the top of my screen right now there is actually quite a few people who have just relatively recently joined the live stream. So don't worry. Carol, hello. It's lovely to see you, Carol. I actually met Carol on board Queen Anne. Hi, Fraser, late to the party. I disembarked Iona today. It was a 5-night cruise to Rotterdam and Zeebrugge. There were reports of 2 fights. I didn't see them. Oh my goodness. I actually know quite a few YouTubers and Instagram accounts that were on that ship for the last 5 nights. I also hadn't heard anything about stuff going down on board. So hopefully it was all okay and hopefully nobody got themselves into trouble. Yeah, 5 nights on Iona would be a really nice length of cruise, actually. I hope you enjoyed that, Carol, and it looks as though the weather was beautiful for you. So, yeah, welcome back, welcome home. Phil, I too have celebrity coming this year, but taken me 3 years to pay for it. As soon as I booked, it's become Apex's President Cruise. Oh, wow. So despite being from Southampton, I don't think there'll be many Brits. Yeah, I think that'll be a very American sailing, but I actually love that. I love when I get on a cruise ship and there's loads of Americans on it. And I also love sailing out of Southampton with Americans because you almost get to, well, not just Americans, anyone that's not from the UK, because you get to see Southampton from a whole new light. I think as a Brit who's now done countless Southampton sailaways, you do sort of take it for granted a bit and you think, yeah, okay, fine, there's IKEA, there's the Holiday Inn, there's the ice cream van down in the car park. But when you actually are surrounded by people that have never done it before and maybe are quite far traveled, you do see it from a totally different angle. So yes, have a wonderful cruise when that comes, but we'll do another live stream, so I'll speak to you before you head off on that. Maria, you're Rome, Livorno. Fine, I will get in touch with you and let's see what we can do. So final plug from me before I do my Ship 1, Ship 2, Ship 3, Ship 4 wrap up is to just remind you about signing up to my weekly newsletter. So head over to FRASERATSEA.com, click sign up now, and I would love to drop you a quick email every Friday, usually Friday afternoon. Now, in that email, I just update you on everything new that's happening all around here on the website, on YouTube, and everything else and everything in between. So yeah, head over there or jump down to the link in the description of this video and you can sign up there as well. So let's do a really quick run through of Ship 1, Ship 2, Ship 3, and Ship 4. And then we'll be on our way because we have hit our 1 hour time frame, which is mad. Thank you so much for this tonight. This has been a brilliant live stream. Thank you. Up first, I will be on Sunday this week joining Holland America Line's New Amsterdam for a 7-day cruise around the Western Caribbean, calling at the ports that you can see on your screen in front of you now. After that, I'll be flying back to London to then head to Southampton to board Balmoral, which is the smallest cruise ship in the Fred Olsen Cruises fleet, which is going to be totally different to the Caribbean. That ship is going to be a 9-night cruise, and we've got 2 days to get there, 2 days to come back. then the period in between is going to be quite port and fjord intensive, which I am so excited about. After Balmoral, I will then fly to Barcelona to take a one-night cruise on board Costa Pacifica, which I think will be an experience unlike anything that I've done yet. And then finally, when I leave Costa Pacifica in Marseille, I'll then take the bus back to Barcelona to board Norwegian Breakaway, where I'll then be spending 9 days cruising around the Mediterranean to some ports that I've never been to before, and some ports that I have been to before that I'm dying to go to, some places that I know are amazing. For example, the pizzeria. I am very, very excited. So that's it. That is us at the end, and we've ran through all of our ships. We've got a couple of final comments here. We've got Carol, you've said the weather was good on your cruise. That's wonderful. Johnny and Will, thank you. Yes, everyone, don't forget to show Fraser some love. I love that term. Yeah, please show me some love and hit the like button. So on YouTube, that thumbs up button really does work magical wonders. So if you are watching right now and you can see that thumbs up button underneath the live, then please do me the biggest favor in the world. And if you've enjoyed the live, click the thumbs up button. That just helps to spread my content to more and more people. If you're here and you're not subscribed to my channel, then I would really appreciate if you would let me show you more cruise ships and show you more cruise ports and bring you back for more future live stream Q&A. All you have to do to come with me is click that subscribe button. So yes, that's us. End of the live. Thank you so much for being here. Wherever you are in the world, I think we've got Finland, we've got Italy, we've got the US, we've got Canada, we've got Australia, we've got all corners of the world represented on here tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. That has been such a quick, but I've really loved that. Now, I'll be boarding my next ship on Sunday, so stay tuned across my platforms. That is predominantly Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. And I will be showing you so much more from all of the different corners of the world that I'm going to be cruising to. But wherever you are today/tonight, have a wonderful day or evening, and I will speak to all of you in a couple of days' time when Laura and I board New Amsterdam over on the other side of the Atlantic. Brilliant. See you guys. Bye.